Yes, we have started the recording. So today's session, let me share the screen. Welcome all. So today's session, we would be seeing it is day two. So yesterday we are done with day one. So today is day two. We are going to learn inferential statistics, probability distribution. So this would be the topic. And Irfan no would be discussing that. But before going to the topic, let me just tell you we are big data hands-on or for the newcomers. Let me tell you again, we are bigdatahandson.com, and whatever videos yesterday we have seen, it has been it should be included here, but yesterday I have not uploaded the video. So today I'll be uploading the video here, or in this place, you should be able to see the yesterday's session and today's session jointly here. So today I'll be uploading. Yesterday I was busy in other works, my official work, so I was not able to upload. So I will be uploading that video here, and if there is any doubts, I'll be um, you can mail us to this, or else you can WhatsApp us to this number 978-988-424. So you can contact us anytime. You can WhatsApp us anytime. We'll be able to reply it. So now I guess Irfan can start the session. So before starting, or else you can also go to YouTube as well. You can also go to YouTube as well, and you can start for bigdatahandson.com. We can type bigdatahandson.com. Here also you can see the latest videos, which was here. So last week's before week we were taking sessions in Tamil on deep learning, because we are in Chennai, Trichy. So we'll be taking sessions in Tamil as well. Once the English part has been done, we'll be taking in Tamil as well. So last week though we would have took the sessions in Tamil. So you can see all these sessions which was in Tamil, and we would also take in English as well. So before that, we would have took sessions in English. So you can see all those sessions which we have in our bigdatahandson.com channel. So you can go here, and if you want, you can also subscribe to our channel, and you can also click on this video, and you can subscribe our channel, and also you can give likes or dislikes as well. If you are giving dislikes, you can please ensure that you go put your right comments and put dislikes, so that would be useful for us to rectify our mistakes. Thank you. So I guess now we can proceed for the second day session, and Irfan, now we can proceed. Hope I will give you make host. Irfan, I have made you as a host, so you can share your screen and give me back the host part. And also Dinesh Kumar, our data scientist, will be joining the call a little bit later. So like myself, Irfan, and Dinesh Kumar will be able to answer all your doubts you have. Please ensure feel free to ask all these doubts, all doubts which you have in the topics which we discuss. As because after 2-3 sessions we'll be completely into practical. So please ensure that whatever doubts you have in basic statistics, you please ask. If you are going to machine learning, then 99%, 95% it would be complete programming. We'll be going inside the kernel, and we should be able to go complete hands-on after day 3. That is from day 4. No, we'll go with that. Before that, if you have any doubts, please ensure that you raise your hands, or you can make use of this chat window, and you can discuss the doubts in this. We'll check out the doubts in your chat. Thank you. Irfan, you can proceed.
Okay. So yesterday we saw descriptive statistics. So today we are going to see inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics and inferential statistics are the two parts of the statistics analysis. And what does inferential statistics will do? In inferential statistic, what we'll basically do, we will infer the population data based on the sample data. Okay. So we taken the sample data. In that sample data, we will do some tests and predictions, which will infer the population data. So why we are taking sample data is because if you have a huge amount of data in population data, from the population data, we are not going to use all the data. So from that data, we will take some sample, and using that sample, we will do some test. In inferential statistics, we will put some logic and generalize the sample data that can be inferred from the population data. So the sample data will represent the population data, and using the sample data, we will know about the population data. So in inferential statistic, today we will cover correlation, t-test, ANOVA, and chi-square and logistic regression. So in descriptive statistics, we will describe the data using some measurement and frequencies. Uh, we will calculate like how many, how much, and we will calculate the central tendency and the variance. That are the describe to describe the data. We will do some things. So we will create some graphs here, there. But in inferential statistic, we will do all the tests. So this hypothesis testing and correlation, confidence interval, significance testing, predictions. Okay, these are the testing part. So inferential statistics, we will do some testings. So in that like difference between the descriptive and inferential statistics, in descriptive will organize the data, summarize the data, simplify and present the data. So in inferential statistic, we will generalize from sample to population, like we will represent the sample data with the population data, and we will do some hypothesis testings and relationship among the variables. So variables are nothing but the columns which we are using in our data. So we will find the relationship between the variables. So and after that, we will make predictions with that. So the same difference between descriptive and inferential statistics. Like in descriptive statistics is the branch of statistic which is concerned with the describing the population under study. So we will describe the data, the name itself the descriptive now. And in inferential statistics makes inferences and predictions about the population based on the sample data. And in descriptive statistics, what it does, we will organize and analyze and present the data meaningfully. And in inferential statistics, we will compare those variables and test and predicts the data. And in descriptive, we will put some charts, graphs and tables. But in inferential statistic, we will all work on the probability. So we will the outcome will be the probability only. So using that probability, we will make some decisions. So and usage of descriptive to describe the situation, and the usage of inferential, that is to explain the chances of occurrences of an event. So it's like we will and function, it explains the data which is already known. But in inferential statistics, it attempts to reach the conclusion to learn about the population. Okay. And type of the analysis in inferential. So analysis of categorical and nominal data. It's like categorical means which we have data that are used in strings. So that is correlation and t-test. and the continuous data, we will use like chi-square and the logistic regression. Okay, it's like inferential statistics. We have the whole population data. From this population, we will take the sample, so draw some inferences about the large group using that sample data. So this is a error, we will see that later. And the probability. So what is probability means? It's probability which you have fruits in a bucket. Let's say if you have one fruit, so let's say an apple you have. So let's say you are taking an fruit from the bucket. So the probability of taking a fruit which you have a fruit only one, so the probability will 1. If you have two type of fruits, so the probability will be 0.5. So using this probability, we will calculate like the decision. We will make some decisions using the probability. Okay. And the chain of reasoning for inferential statistics, so that's the same, population and selecting the sample and measure the data and get some inference, and then using that probability we will make some inferences. And for inferential statistic, we will do some tests, so the tests are called hypothesis testing. So hypothesis testing is like, if you have a two decision, so this or that, so make some using this decision, using we will make some decisions using that hypothesis testing. So in hypothesis testing, we have two types, like null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is like, there is no difference between the what we are going to study. And and another hypothesis, that is alternative hypothesis, that means there is a difference. So in hypothesis, we have various types that are like t-test, ANOVA, chi-square, and logistic regression we have. So like the same as the null hypothesis, the two groups which you are going to study, there is no difference. Alternative hypothesis, like there is a difference between the two groups. So the same thing. So in hypothesis testing, we use this matrix. Like this matrix is same as null is true and null is false, and accept and reject. What this means, like our testing are like predicting a null hypothesis. Let's say null in hypothesis testing, we have two errors. One is type 1 and type 2 error. That means like the our hypothesis, that will be null hypothesis, but we are rejecting it. That is the uh, type 1 error, which means like we have no evidences using the in null hypothesis testing. We use some evidences, no. So we have a lack of evidences, so that we are predicting like uh, null is, but our goal is null is hypothesis uh, is null, but we are rejecting it. That is type 1 error. And in type 2 error, the hypothesis that is false, but we are accepting the null false hypothesis, rejecting a true hypothesis. The type 1 error is like rejecting a true hypothesis, and type 2 error is accepting a false hypothesis. So we'll see some examples here. So let's say I'm having this example: gender, age group, weight, and height. So I'm going to test this data, so using the hypothesis testing. So if you want to test the gender, let's say in the gender, I want to like predict which what are the proportion the male and female have. And from this, let's say we are putting two hypotheses. One is null hypothesis, which are going to take which we take, there is a difference. But in an alternative hypothesis, there is in null hypothesis we don't have any difference, but in alternative hypothesis we have some difference. So if you have a one feature and that feature is categorical, we will call as one categorical, and like the test is one proportional test. And if you have two features, let's say gender and age group, and if you want to test these two features that are categorical, so that time we will use chi-square. And another, if you these are the categorical data. But what if you have a numerical, like continuous data? So if you have a continuous but one feature, that time we will use t-test. And if you have two features and that are continuous, that time we will use ANOVA test. So those are the test types. And also for multiple variables that are continuous, we can also use the correlation. We will see that correlation is nothing but the relationship between the features. That is our correlation. So the first is our correlation. So correlation, when to use the correlation? When you want to know about the association or relationship between the variables, continuous variables. And what it does tell you, it tells you the linear relationships between the two variables and how strong that relationship is. And what do the results look like? The results of correlation will range up to -1 to +1. So is that if you have a +1 correlation, so let's say correlation is 1, so that means there is a linear relationship between that. So that means, like, for this variable and this variable, for the change of 1 unit change of this variable, how the other variable, like we can say, like, these are dependent variable and sorry, these are independent variable and these are dependent variable. So how changing the if you change the independent variable, how the dependent variable is changing, that is our correlation. And the correlation of 0.8, it's look like this. And if you don't have any correlation, so it's look like this. So we can also have a minus correlation. So that means we can have -1 to +1, the correlation range. So it's like and if R is, how do you interpret it? In the correlation we have two types. One is negative and another one is positive. Positive is like both go in the same direction. Like let's say if you are changing this dependent variable, so this also changing, but this all, and the dependent variable also changing. Both variables are changing and positively. So that is our positive correlation. And the negative correlation is like our independent variable is decreasing, but our independent variable is increasing, our dependent variable is decreasing. So this is our opposite side. So that is our negative correlation. And another one is t-test. So, and type 1 error is called as alpha, and type 2 error is called as beta. This thing, the probability of making a type 1 error depends on the criterion you use to accept or reject the null hypothesis. And also we use a significance level, that is a p value. Let's it will called as p value, the 0.5 is a significant value. So using that significant value, we will make predictions that are difference. It has a difference or not. So when we do statistical analysis, if alpha, that is p-value, greater than 0.5, we accept the null hypothesis. That means we have the significance value. If that is less than 0.5, we are not accepting the hypothesis. If that is greater than the 0.5, so we are accepting the null hypothesis. And the reject that means if you have a 5%, 0.5, it means you are rejecting the non-directional. So that means uh, we're rejecting this side and this side, plus and minus. And the directional rejection, that is one tile. And the beta, that is our type 2 error, is called as beta, and occurs when we fail to reject the null hypothesis when we should have. The practical versus significance testings. For significant testing, we use some hypothesis testing like t-test, when experiments include only two groups, independent and correlated within subject matched, like two variables that are continuous, we will use t-test. And ANOVA, comparing more than two groups. So when you have more than two features, we can use analysis of variance, that is ANOVA. And the probability theory. The probability theory allows us to calculate the exact probability that chances was the real reason for the relationship. That means how the relationship is between the two features, we will calculate as a probability. So based on that probability, we will make some decisions. No, the common statistical tests include like parametric and non-parametric, the same tests which we covered, and then chi-squared. So hypothesis testing, a testable prediction about a real world phenomenon. Experimental hypothesis is starting point that will be accept or reject, be examine the evidence that supports or contradicts it. So calculation of t-test is like mean minus the comparison value divided by the standard deviation, standard error. So standard error we calculate as standard deviation divided by the square root of n. So we don't need that, but our algorithm automatically calculate that. So chi-square test. So statistical test is commonly used to compare observed data with the data we would accept to obtain according to a specific hypothesis. That means we have actual data, but in the hypothesis testing we got some data. So we will compare those two, uh, observed and expected. So that's our chi-square test. Comparison between the expected type of frequency and the actual observed frequency. So it's done, the calculation of the statistic in the chi-square test is done by the computing the sum of squares of the deviation between, it's like sum of observed minus expected whole square divided by the expected. That is our chi-square. Chi-square, chi-square. So it's like when to use it, when you want to know if there is an association between two categorical features. Like I said before, if you have a two categorical features, you can use the chi-square. What does chi-square tell you? If the observed frequency of occurrences in each group are significantly different from expected frequency, it will give you the difference between the observed and the expected. So, and how do you interpret it? Usually, the higher the chi-square statistic, the greater the likelihood finding is significant. But you must look at the corresponding p-value. P-value is our significant value now. So the reporting of our chi-square, and another, that is logistic regression. In logistic regression, what we basically do, we will measure the strength and direction, the association between the two variables, dependent and the independent variables, but the dependent variable should be categorical. So yes or no, that's our logistic regression. So when you want to predict the likelihood of an outcome while controlling of confounders. So in the logistic regression, the outcome will be look like probability of 0 to 1. So we use some significant value, let's say 0.5. If that is less than 0.5, so we will the probability of the outcome event occurring divided by the probability of it not occurring. So that means if you have if you like 0.5 significance value, if that is the outcome is less than 0.5, that is a different. But if that is greater than 0.5, there is no difference. And what do the result look like? So odds ratio, confidence intervals, like it will gives you like 0 to 1. So then how do you interpret the results? Significance can be inferred using by looking at the confidence interval. The same what I said before. If that is greater than 0.5, the independent variable may be, sorry, less than, I change it that. Sorry, if that is less than 0.5, so maybe a risk factor. If that is greater than 0.5, that is protective factor. Okay. So that is changed. This will the less than, and this is greater than. And summaries of statistical test, what we covered, like correlation to continuous variables and test, t-test and ANOVA test, means from a continuous variables. And chi-square, we should have two categorical variables. And logistic regression, uh, dichotomous variable as the outcome. So this test what we covered. So we will do some practical using Python. For statistic analysis, we have a library in Python, SciPy. Import, sorry, from the SciPy module, we need stats. So inside the stats, we have all the test algorithms, t-test, chi-square. So all the algorithms we have in the library called stats. So first, let me take this example. Let's say, so I'm going to say we will take the age example. So in that age example, I'm going to take some 100 ages of persons, and I'm going to calculate the t-test for the age, the one feature. After that, we will do some two features. So first, I will import the random library to generate the random ages. So we will create a list and random dot rand integer of say 1 to 100. In 1 to 100 for which many times? How many times? For 100 times. 100 times. So we will get 100 age values. If I print that, so we have 100 ages. In that 100 ages, I'm going to get the sample. Of course, we will apply the test in the sample data. No, so for sample data, I'm going to take sample equal to. So we will select randomly in that list. So that will become a random sample. No, so random dot choice in that age. So for how many times? Let's say I'm taking for 20 times. 20. So let's print the sample data which will have the 20 age data. So this we have the 20 age data. Let's calculate the mean. So let's import the numpy library. So the mean is like mean equal to p dat mean of the sample data. Sorry. So the mean of our data, that is 47.05. So to calculate the t-test, there is a function called t-test underscore lsam in that stat module. So it will return two values. One is the result of the statistics of our t-test and the p-value, the probability value. Stats dot so t-test t-test one sample, and in that, so you can see here it takes two parameter. One is a and the population mean. That means the a is our data and the pop mean is our mean of our population data, not for the sample data. So let me take as age. So the population data, the mean of our population data, and the first we will give the sample data, and the next we will give the mean of the population data. So it will return two value, t-test and the p-value. So let's print the p-value, see what probability is giving me. So the probability is like 0.786. So that means there is no difference significantly, like 0.7 it is giving. So there is no difference between mean and the sample data which we are get from the uh, population data. So mean, that is our population mean. So that means let's me take a condition here. So if that p value is greater than 0.5, we will accept the hypothesis. Let's say accept the hypothesis. Otherwise, don't accept the hypothesis. It's like it will give you accept the hypothesis is because uh, every time if you see the p-value is changing, it's because we are randomly choosing the sample data in that population data. So every time that will change, no? So this time we got 0.61, but the mean is changing. Yeah, mean that is 53.63. That is our population mean. So this is our t-test of one category. So one feature, sorry, one feature. And if you have two features, let's say weight and the height, let's say. Oh, sorry. Let's command this. Oh, sorry. Not this. So this time we will have two features. One is weight. So weight we will randomly choose random dot landing uh, the same from 10 to 100 for in range. I'm going to take 100 data. So the same as height. Height will be like uh, let's say 1.5. Sorry. So rand int. So it will give you integer, but we want decimal also. So from let's say 2 kg to, so height, no, height will 1 to 7, let's say, for I in range of 100, the same 100 samples. So let's print the height and the weight. Oh, sorry. So it will, and the random not random will give you in the 0 to 1. So we can multiply by, let's say we can multiply to 10. So we got the data. So this is our height and this is our weight. So weight can be also, decimal, no? So for that we can do like multiply by the 100. So we can range up to 0 to 100. So this time, okay, we got the data. So after getting the data, uh, we need to use another function, the same as the t-test one sample, but we have another function for which you have two categories or more. So that also will give you the t-test, and the two result will give you, and the p-value equal to stats dot. This time I'm going to use t-test ind. That ind, if you see here, it it takes two parameters, one is A and B. The A is one feature and B is another feature. So we can pass height and the weight, this height and the weight. So let's print the p value. So the p value is like 7.82. How the relationship between the height and the weight is our uh, that is two categories, one and now that is correlation. We will find the correlation. So correlation we can use when you have a multiple features, not two or one. If you have multiple features, we will use correlation. So for that, let me take an example of a data. So let's take iris data. You can, if you don't have the iris data, no problem. In the library Seaborn, it has a pre-built data for iris and more data we have in that, so we can use that also. Seaborn as SNS. So let's say iris data equal to SNS dot load data set. In that we can give iris, so it will load the data set. So we can command this. It is loading the data set. So that is our data frame. This is pandas data frame. We will see tomorrow about the pandas, numpy, all these things. But this is our data frame, like row and column. So we have four features in that. So sorry, five features in that. One is sepal length, sepal weight, petal length, petal weight, and another one is species. So this is our categorical data, but we don't want this categorical data. So we want only these four features. So we will find the correlation of that. So how to find the correlation? That is very simple. In that, let's print iris dot, should give you correlation. I think correlation. So this is our correlation matrix. It's like it will give you the relationship of the variables, between the variables. So if you see this one, so that is 0.87. That means for petal length and sepal length, the two features has a relationship, high relationship. But and also this one, and petal length and petal width, the two I have more uh, correlation between them. So why we finding the correlations? Because it is very helpful to us in machine learning. Is because the concept like feature selection. In that feature selection, we find some correlation between those variables to use which variable has more impact on the uh, target variable. So target variable is our what we will predict. So we will select the features which will have more mm, more correlation between the variables. So these are the correlation metrics. So okay, so we will end up this session from this. So if you any have doubts, you can ask. And for logistic regression, we will see in the machine learning, we will see the logistic regression completely. Okay.
Any doubts you have? Please make use of the chat window for asking your doubts, or else no, you yourself can ask right away over the call.
So they are asked like 29th line. So in that 29th line is because that is t-test algorithm, so which we covered in that. It will calculate the formula. I will show that. So this one, so calculation of t-test. So it will calculate all these things of our data, and it will give you two values, t-test statistics, and another one is p-value. Only the p-value we need that. So this p-value is our the probability value that has the relationship in that mean, the population mean, and the sample data which we are taken. So that means uh, how to perform ANOVA and Python. So ANOVA is this thing, I know. So if you have more than two categories, so two features, we use ANOVA, or we can use correlation, the same as. And any doubts? So two attributes, but t-test is used for one variable, right? Yes, the second test is taking the two features, height and weight, say. But if you see here, in the in this two feature test, we are not taking the sample data, we are taking all the population data. But in this test, with the one feature test, we are taking the sample data and the mean of the population data. So is there a difference name for this test? What test? The different functions we have. So this function will use to calculate using one feature, and this function will use to calculate from two features. So any doubts in that?
Any doubts you have, please ask. I guess there is no doubts. Yes, the recordings no would be uploaded today. Yesterday I didn't have any time, so today I'll be uploading yesterday's and today's video inside our thing, and you can just watch it out. Slides, no, we'll not be uploading any slides or any documents. If you want, you need to pay for rupees 500 to get those materials from us. Videos will be uploaded free of cost. So if you want to have materials, then you need to give your mail ID and pay rupees 500 over Google Pay. Then we'll be able to send all those materials for you. Or it's not needed because like you have videos with you, so you can see the videos and you can check it out how it works. Any doubts? That's it, I guess. So I'll share my screen. So here is bigdatahandson.com. So you can watch the videos inside menu, meetup uploads, meetup videos. Inside this, like you will be able to see yes, here you should be able to see the videos. So yesterday it was not uploaded. So yesterday, today, everything it would get uploaded by today. No, I'll be uploading it. So on a daily basis or once in 2 days, no, I'll be uploading these videos. So you can just check it out in our website directly, or you can go to Google. That is what is that? YouTube's, and you can go to bigdatahands-on.com and you can check our videos. So you can subscribe to our channel and you can check our videos here directly if you want, or else you can go to our website directly and you can set it out in that meetup videos link. No, you can see that inside that also you'll have the our number, so you can able to get our number here 978-988-424. So you can WhatsApp us. So any doubts or if you want to join our group, you can join. Thank you for all who have joined the session. We can meet up tomorrow morning 6:30 to 7:30. Thank you all for the session.